Caitlin, thank you for that. And we've seen the video over and over again. In North Charleston, the police officer shooting an unarmed man 8 times in the back, struck him 5 times. He's trying to run away there as we freeze frame the video. Back in July, CMPD officer Randall Carrick, in July, make that coming up here, he's going to go on trial and connects the shooting death of Jonathan Farrell, who was not armed at the time. Country seeing this continuous loop of the video from Charleston. There are questions about the impact the shooting will have on potential jurors in the Carrick case, and discuss that further on this Monday. A partner in Rosensteel Fleischman right here, Corey Rosensteel, is here on this Monday to discuss the cell phone video we've all seen so many times and what effect it could have on the trial coming up in July, possibly August. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
So what do you think is going to happen? You know, obviously it's out there, everyone's seen it. How does it influence this trial, if at all?
Well, of course, one question people have is whether this video will actually be shown to the jury, and of course this video would not be. But there is video from the event in the Carrick case, and the Carrick case video would be shown to the jury most likely in whatever form they have it. And it hasn't been released, so
Why?
we don't. Well, that's a good question. At this point, there's a gag order from the judge, and so both sides are limited in what they're allowed to talk about in the public and what they're allowed to release. Before the charging, that was a decision that was made by the Attorney General's office and by the District Attorney's office to not release that video.
So we talk about jury selection down the road. It's going to take some time, we know that, but the chances are whoever gets picked, they've seen this video. And it will influence exactly, you know, I guess going into the trial that you've seen this, and maybe that kind of situation happened in this case.
Well, there's a public perception issue here, and these videos that have come out for the last 6 months, last year or two, I mean, these videos have changed public perception a little bit, and that's something you'd be worried about as an attorney who's trying to defend the officer in this case.
So how do you go about that? Does it change the game a ton, obviously?
Well, as the lawyer, you're trying to find people who don't have preconceived ideas that are going to just absolutely prejudice them against your client. So that's the first step. The second thing you're trying to do is to distinguish your case from the one in South Carolina that everybody is condemning. You want to say, well, my case is different in some way. And of course, we don't know what that video shows from Charlotte, but that's obviously going to be a step that they're going to be trying to take.
You know, it's interesting. You talk about jury selection, and in a case like this, you want to get someone who's unbiased. But you've gone through jury selection before?
Sure.
How easy have you ever gotten to the point where maybe you don't know if the person's unbiased? Like how do you determine the person is unbiased?
Well, jury selection's an art. And it's certainly difficult to try to figure these things out. You can ask people, but of course people's own biases affect their answers to questions. So you try to get questions that will discover a bias without having the person actually tell you that they have it.
Right, and so the dash cam video is going to be so big in this trial, you just have to wonder what's on it again with them not releasing it. But then you see North Charleston releasing their dash cam video just days after.
Well, that's right, and I think that they had at that point a different situation.
Right.
I mean, with the video that had already gone on air, I think they had a different situation than we've got here.
Corey Rosensteel, wonderful insight here on this Monday. Appreciate the time.
My pleasure.
Let's go over to Paige.
All right, thank you. President Obama set to make a stop now in the QC later.